You all know him, the man, the myth, the manipulation. Recently I decided to subject myself to the torture of reading Onision's book. The first book he wrote, because apparently he thought it went so well, he wrote more books after this. And I got the inspiration from the fact that he has recently resurfaced and done some more crazy things. So I figured, why not? I used to be a fan of Onision, like way back in the day, before I realized how completely crazy and insane he was. So I thought reading his book could be at least a bit interesting. Now, if you're looking for a more in-depth analysis of this book, there is a brilliant YouTuber who has made one, and you can check out her video in the description below, because I will link to her channel if you want to. As I said, I was actually a fan way back in my cringy emo days, like before he started attacking mentally ill people. Then I left before that, to the hellfire that is his book, because I can think of no word that is more accurate to describe it. So the book centers around James. Congrats on using the most used male name in fictional literature ever. Very creative of you. And James is an angsty teenage boy who has way too many emotions and is most certainly a sociopath. Let's begin. And I felt like starting this review thing could not be started better than with an exact quote from this shit show of a book. For as long as I can remember, I have enjoyed seeing how people move around and talk to each other like they are animals at a zoo. Sometimes I feel like an alien who had a VIP pass to submerge myself in primitive human culture for entertainment. Excuse me, what the fuck? Oh. Straight off the bat, just full on crazy. Love it. Jesus Christ. If I wasn't already convinced that this man was insane, this would be the convincing thing. There is no longer any doubt whatsoever. Already on page 4 we see the classic Onision, where he states that he enjoys putting people into categories. And yes, I will refer to the main character in this book as Onision, Onion Boy, because Onision wrote himself on the Amazon page that, quote unquote, James is essentially a better version of myself. How weird is that? Why would you do that? This boy who categorizes people and puts everyone into tiny boxes is a better version of you? How? Okay, but let's move on to really interesting things here. The main character has an obsession with a girl named Abby. They both attend art class together, so, you know, of course it's gonna be arty-farty, poetic love right from the start. Right. A few words about the school that he writes about, because not only are all the characters based on complete stereotypes, the adults in this book do not act like adults at all. There is nothing adult about these people. They're more like grown toddlers just walking around the world. The guidance counselor acts like a 5-year-old, like just randomly chucking condoms at people. That actually happens in the book. Yeah. They speak like teenagers themselves, which is very strange. The art teacher seems to have lost control both of class and of life in general. And the guidance counselor is a child-hating old hag, which her only purpose in this book is to rearrange classes so that Onion Boy's character and Abby will have art class together. Never in my life can I imagine that a guidance counselor would arrange classes so that you could have classes with your crush. That can't be a thing. Like, please tell me that doesn't happen. Greg also mentions a boy peeing in a jar during class. I have no idea about the American school system. Like, I've heard that it's pretty bad. Thankfully, I have attended school in Finland, but I honestly doubt that there is exposing of genitals of any kind in your classroom, especially peeing. Where did this idea come from? Like, what kind of backsided, weird-minded school would you... Calm down. Back to reviewing the book. After a brief introduction of the complete crazy world that Onision has decided to depict, we go to a very, very bland family dinner and a shower scene where James sits on the floor in the shower and lets the water drip down on him for no apparent reason. If this was an attempt at dramatic effect, it flopped. Just straight down flopped. Sucked. Don't do this. Like, it may work in a dramatic teenage movie, but no, people don't do this. If you try to write a book that is relatable and interesting for your viewers, which he did, you shouldn't add melodramatic things just for the sake of being dramatic. Stop. So apparently Abby has a boyfriend, Seth, and I can describe him with one sentence, and it's Disney villains have more depth than this guy does. Like, Onision basically just took a huge neon sign, a pink huge neon sign, and stamped the word villain into this guy's forehead. Like, everything about him is bad. He has no redeeming qualities whatsoever. Such a one-dimensional, sucky character. I'm pretty sure a 7-year-old could write something more dynamic. Just saying. Okay, so Abby and Seth argue in the parking lot for whatever reason, and Greg 2.0 just has to step in and has to be the hero, because of course, why wouldn't you? That's completely normal. When a couple is arguing, of course you go up to them and go like, hey, I'm gonna defend her because she's done nothing wrong. That happens. I've seen it in my dreams while on drugs, hallucinating. Okay, so the couple break off and James walks Abby home, and because it's raining, her makeup starts to come off, and this is my absolute favorite part in the book because it makes absolutely zero sense, and it's so obvious that it's written to be deep just for the sake of being deep, and it actually falls completely flat and it's not deep at all. So as her makeup is disappearing off her face, she asks, and again this is a direct quote, "Do you think makeup really helps anyone?" And James, the teenage boy wonder, answers, "Makeup is just makeup. Skin is just skin. It is what it is." Like, show me one teenage boy who would actually say this. Like, who do you think you are? A Tumblr post? No, no one says this. No one talks like this. It doesn't happen. No. Jesus Christ, it's like bad poetry in a soap opera. I can't even chalk this up to bad writing anymore. It just straight up sucks. Why would you do this? So in an example of more teen angst, Greg writes a love letter to this Abby girl, and this might sound cute, but trust me, it's not. If someone wrote me a letter like this, like I would change my address, my phone number, my hair color, my skin color. I would sunbathe like it's my job, move to Bahamas and disappear forever. This is some stalker crap, guys. No. Fast forward to about 10 pages of absolutely nothing, and there is suddenly a school shooting for no apparent reason. Long story short, James instinctively knows it's Seth, jumps off the school bus, which the driver just lets him do, looks for Abby. The shooting becomes the deadliest one in American history. It makes it on TV. And James becomes a national hero for no apparent reason other than running around during the shooting. Why? And also for some reason the president comes to visit and he recognizes James just like that. And I'm convinced that this is just because Onision has this demented vision of himself where he needs to fantasize like about being a hero, which is a constant theme in this book, like Onision, the savior of mankind. I hate it. It's so weird. Stop. Then Abby, for some reason, stays with James and his family. Abby's dad has hinted to be abusive, but there's really no way that we know that James's mother knows about this, so she's just kind of letting a random girl who's ex-shot of the school stay in her house. Weirdness. We also have a very nice, heartwarming part where Abby gets into the shower to have a conversation. I shit you not. My camera died. But anyway, we have a part where Abby goes into the shower to have a conversation. That's the only reason. She just gets in the shower to talk to him. Because, you know, talking on the outside of this shower is such a basic move. Why would you? Why would you talk outside the shower when you can talk while you're in the shower? And then she steps outside and completely flashes him. Why? Why would you ever just like, okay, I showered, bam. Why? I don't understand. This makes zero sense. Absolutely no sense. Why would you do that? Just go into the shower, have a conversation, and then the second you step out, flash the guy you've been talking to. What human would act like this? So Abby writes a note to James where she talks about becoming pregnant and then terminating the pregnancy. And for some goddamn reason, James becomes so overcome with passion that he rushes to her classroom and makes out with her in front of the entire class. Yep. And why does he do this? Well, to fuel Greg 2.0's ego, of course. Which is basically the point of the entire book. There is actually a lot of sex scenes in this book, which I skipped because just the mental image of 17-year-old Onision doing it isn't something that I want to think about ever. Like, even the kissing made me uncomfortable. Why would you include this? What is the point? I don't get it. I really don't. And then, just suddenly, again, without any other reason than ego fueling, James gets into a fight. Even though he called boys at his school stupid for fighting, he gets up, gets into a fight, and, mind you, takes down 4 guys. The guy who thinks fighting is stupid takes down 4 guys on his own. So we have finally reached the end of this moronic novel. And here Davis, James's friend, who basically based his entire existence around James and fueling his egocentric worldview, tries to save an already dead man by running onto a highway. Again, why would you? He gets hit by a car and dies. And somehow, immune to the impact of cars, James runs straight onto the highway, grabs his now dead/dying friend, and pulls him off the highway. I'm just so fed up at this point, I don't even know what to say. This is just so stupid. So at the funeral of this Greg 2.0 obsessed bastard, his mother decides to have a speech, which is, you know, custom for the parent when your child has died. But instead of talking about her dead son and the cherished memories she might share with her dead son, she talks about James. Which, you know, actually kind of fits, since, again, Davis's entire purpose in this book was to fuel James and adore James. So, kind of fits that his mother would be just the same. Make sure your sarcasm detector is on for this part. And as a nice, conclusive ending to this book that ties everything together in a perfect little bow, the crazy guidance counselor gets fired because, you know, she was a horrible guidance counselor and she deserved it, and she burns down the school. I shit you not, that's the ending. It ends there. Why? Why would you end a book this way? The ending to a book is supposed to tie everything together in a nice little bundle and fix, like, all the problems should be fixed at this point. But there are so many remaining questions. And like, this ending isn't, it's not nice or satisfying in any way. It just, it's a perfect image. It's a perfect image of the rest of the book, which was complete shit. This is the worst thing I have ever read, and I am obsessed with reading, so it should tell you quite a lot. I have read so many bad things, but this is like... This is horrendous. I don't know. I don't even know what to say. This book was just such a waste of time to read. I learned nothing, and I saw no new perspectives. I didn't see any character development. There was no concrete storyline except that Greg 2.0, Onion Boy's favorite person, is a hero. That's it. Like, he saves every situation. That's the entire point of the book. I don't understand. Someone help me understand, please. Why did this complete moron decide to write a book? What did you gain from this? I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. So, all in all, what's wrong with this book? Bad writing, like ridiculously bad writing. There is no character development, there is no storyline, there is nothing. It's just a book of rambles to make Greg's ego even bigger. That's it. That's the entire book. It has insanely bad grammar. There are tons of stylistic errors, and there's tons of grammatical errors in this book. And spelling errors, which should have, you know, if you read it after you wrote it, you would probably have noticed them, but apparently you couldn't have, because there are so many. 3. Nothing in this book makes any kind of sense. As I said again, it's just rambling moronicness from a clearly insane person. It's probably the least captivating book I've read, because none of the characters are in the slightest bit likable. None of them are likable. At all. No one in this book acts even remotely human. And this book is so very, very obviously just a fantasy for Onion Boy, so that he gets to play the hero and every other character just admires and adores him for absolutely no reason whatsoever. Because there is not a single redeeming character trait that this James has. This book was the least entertaining piece of crap I have ever in my life read, and it's no wonder he had to self-publish, because no publisher would ever dare to publish this. So please, if you're obligated to give a gift to someone you hate, give them Onision's book, because I'm sure they will hate you more. So yeah, that was that. I didn't like this book. If that wasn't obvious already, I didn't like this book. If this video reaches 50 likes, I will read another one of his works and review it too. But that's never gonna happen, so I should be safe for now. Also, a huge thank you to the commentary channels I have watched recently that inspired me to make this video. Thank you. So that was what I had for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed it. I really like doing commentary stuff now, so if you do like these kind of videos, please put a thumbs up and I will know to make more commentary content for you. I will link some older videos here and here. And also please subscribe if you're new here, because I upload Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays now, and there are also surprise videos coming your way soon, so there will be lots of new content. Other than that, I will see you next time.